Oh, hey everybody. Hello. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. It is Tuesday night. It is 10:01. 10:01. Do you know where Todd Schaefer is? Uh, hmm, that's a reference out of the past that just popped into my head. Hello everybody. Thank you for watching. Something to think about. It is the 28th day of June, the year 2020. And it's been a strange one. We're about halfway through the year, and what is to come? What is to come? We are towards um, heading towards the 4th of July weekend. We'll talk about that coming up. Hello, Fred. Hello, Sissy. Hello to everybody out there watching. I'm saying hello to the folks in the chat. I'm going to be in and out of chat as we always are when we do lives. And if something, if you hear something, if one of the stories, you got something to say about it, or I say something you got something to say about, get it on the. So much is going on, it's not even funny, American Doofus. Absolutely, and I've got stuff here that you have no clue. I got some stuff that is it's out there. Okay, some conspiracy theory stuff. A lot of conspiracy theory stuff. Dalman Muhammad, hello. Thank you very much, man. Greatly appreciated. So before we begin, the divide in our country. I honestly feel like the powers that be, whatever that power may be, whether it be an alien race, which is not out of the realm of possibility anymore, whether it be just incredibly evil, demon possessed, satanic people that want the demise of humanity and of Earth, not out of the realm of possibility, or whether it just be the collective conscience of humanity sensing natural impending doom, and the angst comes out against each other, not out of the realm of possibility. We've talked about a lot of things on this show. We've talked about the magnetic poles shifting as they are shifting, and we've shown that. We've talked about sunspots, and we keep a close eye because solar activity has a major impact on what goes on here on Earth, and not just with electronics. It impacts the tides. Anyway, it impacts the weather, and potentially impacts us on a big way. If something big comes, that's why we keep an eye on it. So we talk about a lot of things on here, and the powers that be want us at each other's throats. I wrote a book on this. It's called America, Land of the Greed, Home of the Grave, and it's available. The link is in the descriptions. Check it out if you would. Thank you. Check it out if you buy it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But check it out. Anyway, I kind of lay out in the book, which I wrote many years ago, how to take down America without without a whole lot of opposition. And a lot of the things have played out. And in that book, one of the first things is to get everybody fighting amongst themselves, and the people that are trying to make this happen, they don't care if it's race, if it's uh, male against female. They don't care if it's economic, if it's class. They don't care as long as there's chaos, because when there's enough chaos, that's when the big players make the big moves. When everybody's not paying attention. Something to think about as we get into this episode, because we've got a lot. And let's start out with some intelligence that I've recently obtained. Okay. Um, and no, no, this is not directly referencing intelligence about me or about the channel. The Patriot Front, we've shown them several times. We've shown them in Texas and in Arizona. We've shown them in Philadelphia, in Washington, D.C., and we showed them in the back of a U-Haul in Idaho, I believe, or Utah. I think it was Utah. And possibility of an appearance by that group, only a much larger version of that group, possibly appearing somewhere with the 4th of July weekend coming up. Most likely, in my opinion, will be Washington, D.C. Why do I say that? Because the other bit of information I have is there is another group that is made up of a lot of Proud Boys, and they are stationed just outside Washington, D.C. I say just outside, but about an hour and a half away from Washington, D.C. And the scuttlebutt is they are going in on they're going in on this coming weekend. So as always, know your surroundings. Keep your head on a swivel. Keep your head on a swivel. Know your surroundings. You know, if you're outside, say you're outside at a concert. A lot of concerts are going to be happening this weekend, and festivals and shows and carnivals and parades and fun times coming this weekend as we celebrate the beginning of the United States of America. Okay. I wish we didn't have to keep our head on a swivel. I wish we didn't have to constantly be aware of who's around us, or if we're sitting in a concert, tell our friend, look, you know, if you hear shots from behind, we head that way. If something breaks out in front of us, we head back this direction, because these are where the quick exits are going to be. And we want to make sure we know ahead of time where we're going to exit if we have to exit. Yeah, I wish it wasn't like that. I really do. Oh man, I really do. I wish it was like it was when I was playing ball and I was on teams that skin color wasn't even a consideration. The only thing that mattered was winning and partying afterwards. And we did it all together, you know. And there are a lot of us that just wish that's how America could be, you know, that we could all just uh, mind our own business and trust our neighbors and trust everybody around us, and you know, not judge anybody around us. Let everybody do their thing as long as they ain't hurting anybody else, and blah, you know, the way it should be. Everybody on an equal playing field. That's why we've never been able to achieve it. Okay, I'm not, you know, yeah, it's a fantasy, and yeah, I'm rambling on all this stuff when I've got tons of stuff to talk about. But anyway, if we could get to that, you know, if everybody got on a level playing field, at any time in our history, our country would be what it was meant to be, in my eyes. Now, there are those that think, there are those that think July 4th, 1776 is when the Constitution happens, and they want to go back to the original Constitution, that only the Constitution and the 10 Bill of Rights matter. All the other amendments, none of that all matters. It's going back to the original Constitution, okay? Just so you understand where this group is coming from that might make some big noise coming this weekend. That is, they've already reestablished a republic of the United States, and they've got their own Declaration of Independence, and they've signed it, and they did it on the Capitol steps, and not a lot of people realized all this was going on, and so in their minds they've already formed the actual government. Now, is it going to become just Florida, Arizona, Texas, the fat theory? Because if those 3 states go, 11, 8, 15, who knows? More states might join whatever it is that's trying to come out of this. And based on Trump. And I've got this incredibly wild. I've had this incredibly wild thing come into my head earlier today about Trump, and it was like, RJ, thank you, man. Hippo character spins around in his chair, arms flung up in the air. Why should I know that? Did you just make that up, or that's a song lyric, I think. If not, it will be. Thank you, man. Thank you. Because I forgot to put on the, this will be commercial free, okay? For those that are doing the rewatch, this is going to be commercial free, because some of the stuff we're going to be talking about, they're not going to, it's not going to meet the standards of people that want to advertise. And I think we've probably already proven that. So just keep in mind that when you hear the going back to the original Constitution, what that group of people actually means. And, it's not all white people, but when STHF, when crap hits the circulating device that we use to keep us cool, logical thinking is going to go out the window. We got to prepare ourselves ahead of time, that try to remind ourselves that, not every person you see is a threat. Not every person you see is a friend. Times, if things get worse, times are going to get to that within 72 hours, within 3 days, everything's going to fall apart. Let's not, if we can, let's not let that happen. Anyway, we're at a tipping point, and last Friday there was an announcement by the Supreme Court that Roe v. Wade had been overturned, and a woman's right to choose was no longer a federally protected right, that it was not an implied right in the Constitution. 3 other quick: gay marriage, contraception, and the right to privacy, which is the way they're going to target gay people. None of those are specifically written into the Constitution. Now, we've already got a Supreme Court that is ruling things have to specifically be in the Constitution. Is it a far stretch to think that there is a concerted effort of of white people, white males, armed white males, that January 6th was the warm up, and we're going to take the whole thing over and install Trump as president. Is that so far out of the realm of possibility? I don't think so. Could that, here comes my first conspiracy, could that actually, as hard as it is to believe, could that actually be a good thing? And here's why I asked that. And I haven't even got into the stuff yet. My gosh, I've already talked for 15 minutes and I was worried about not having enough to talk about. Never the case, I know. Never the case. Could that actually be a positive thing that they do this? I like to connect dots. I like to think outside the box. And it got me thinking, what if Trump and the QAnon and everybody that, I don't give legitimacy to, okay? And I'm still not. I'm just doing a what if. What if there really is this evil cabal, whatever, and the way they know it is because they recruited Trump, all right? They knew Trump was narcissistic, self-serving, not a whole lot of feelings or emotions. And they said, we want you to be president. You're going to be the savior. You're going to be and then he got in there and found out he couldn't just do whatever he wanted, that he had been basically put in place as every other president has been. And he's now going, hey, these people are all bought and paid for. Nothing's ever going to change unless we get rid of all of them. And that leads us into our first bit of story. And again, that's a what if, all right? Because I'm still not giving them any legitimacy. Trump's a liar. Trump's, you all know. But the way things are playing out, it's one of two things. Either he was a stooge, and he got played, or he is the top dog in all of this, as far as they've still got it in his head and he's still being played, or he was part of it from the start. Because too much of this, it's all too coincidental. All right. Now, CNN has reported that QAnon has come back after 4 years. 18 months is actually what I think the article said. I haven't seen it. I've told about it. And because somebody's, CNN saying QAnon's back, and you've been reporting on them almost, consistently, at least once a week. They haven't gone anywhere. All right. There's just supposedly new Q drops. Q returns and drops brand new posts. End of a 4-year delta is incoming. The next drop is going to be historic. Okay. This is our second or third conspiracy theory of the night, probably fourth now, after you just heard me say, what if Trump was actually honestly trying to act on the best interest of America as a whole. topsy-turvy. Everything's up is down, and everything down is up. The Salt Army, we've talked about them. You know, the all white. If it ain't white, it ain't right. We're not going to know who these people are. They're not going to know who we are. This is, and I think this could be the weekend that, at least in some situations, they become active. Now, we saw, and we continue to see in the January 6th hearings. We have seen what a small number, relatively small number, can do. There are groups in every state. All right, there are multiple groups in every state that have one link, and that is Patriot. All right, and in their eyes, everything they're doing is patriotic. It may turn out to be patriotic. That's it. We're in a conspiracy show, okay? This is a conspiracy episode, so it may turn out to be that what they're doing was actually patriotic all the time. And if that ends up being the case, then it won't, because they want to go back to the original Constitution, which women and minorities, and there weren't a lot of rights to a lot of people. It was the basic rich white man. So a lot of people are being played, in my opinion. But again, this is a conspiracy show, so I promised I would give both sides, so to speak, because I got some crazy stuff still coming up here. We're just getting started, and thank you for watching. I'm over here on the screens. I'm not in the chat. I'm not sure what's going on. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I'll be back over there in just a second, as soon as we get to the next part of this. And the next part of this is a little bit crazy. About a 7-minute video, and well, let's just listen in here.
Guardians, it is time for an important update. As you know, we spoke about an evil plan we were aware of in our last video. We also discussed how CERN has had an impact on the timelines we are facing. Many of us felt despondent and hopeless, and that nothing could be done to stop what is coming. That has changed. It is not because of anything we did. It is because brave people outside of us trusted that our guardians, that you, could help them in a very important way. For the past month, we have been working with 2 groups of patriots who plan to release newly discovered information. They contact...
Okay. Patriots. That just jumped out to me. My mind was in media mode, and I was thinking ahead to where I'm going after this. So I wasn't really listening, but yet I heard patriots. Okay, here it is. For the past month, we've been working with 2 groups of patriots who plan to release newly discovered information. Let's make sure, as we listen to this, that the white supremacist patriot Proud Boy segment and the actual people like that might be inside the government that are patriotic, because we can't let the word patriot, I mean, it's already been stolen basically, and it's been in a lot of cases besmirched. You know, people doing saying things are patriotic when they're actually problematic. Okay. But we've already talked about all that, and we'll talk about it more. Let's get back to this. I've got another reaction video too that I haven't seen the whole thing. I saw the first part of this, and I was like, oh my gosh, I got to share this, because I got the first two things we're going to here, I got it within like a half an hour of when I was supposed to come on live. So I basically read the first part, had it on mute, read the first part, and I thought, okay, let's play this, and it'll be like my first reaction video, because people have been saying, let's do a reaction video. But if I end up talking this long through it, the reaction videos will take forever.
Contacted us and asked us for help. These Patriot groups do not have a white audience or prominent social media accounts. Instead, they operate in the shadows and behind the scenes. They are comprised of many ex-military and ex-government intelligence officials who came together over the years out of concern that the U.S. government had been compromised and no longer operated according to the law or constitution. Some members of the Patriot groups personally knew some of the individuals who belonged to our group, so there was already a level of trust that we shared. We examined the information that they brought to us, and we...
Okay. Okay, this is what I said may be. They're compromised, or they're comprised of ex-military, ex-government. I was thinking like current military, current government, but I don't know. This makes me...
Then verified it with our own sources. We determined without any doubt or question, the information is legitimate and of great importance. The information is of the highest worldwide secrecy. It is the closest guarded secret of the negative forces. The information was first discovered, by accident, by a group of white hat hackers who were working for a European government agency. They were very concerned
Okay,
with
that's
what they had
how
found.
I got this
They
link.
are bound to secrecy under threat of penalty of lifetime imprisonment or death. To release this information would require many steps, a great deal of courage, and the ability to find the right people to help them. Through a series of events, they made contact with various whistleblower groups, which led them to the Patriot groups we are now working with. The Patriot groups
Hang with us here, okay? Even though you're hearing Patriot groups and you're thinking, white supremacists, I'm thinking the same thing. I'm thinking the same thing too, but it may have two different, they may be talking about two different things here, because this was sent to me by somebody that I know is not in any way, shape, or form involved in white supremacy or thing. They actually fight really hard against such things.
Offered assurances to the white hat hackers that the information would be released properly, without censorship, and with great protections offered to keep their identity.
But some of the language is sounding QAnonish to me.
Secret. After many negotiations, the white hat hackers agreed to begin working with these groups for a plan to release the information. The Patriot groups felt our people, our guardians, could be the best people to help get this information out, and we agreed with that. We then formulated a careful plan to release it. The information is of such critical nature that we must release it in the most effective way possible. We have been told if we release it, or if the Patriot groups release it, it could cause a worldwide internet shutdown. This is so that teams of professionals working for the negative forces can quickly remove it. The shutdown would be similar to an internet outage that took place in which Facebook was down for a period of time in 2021. A cover story was quickly released at the time, but this occurred because a similar release of information happened, and it was quickly censored.
Okay. I'm going to pause this here for a second. I'm going to hop over into the chat. You want me to keep going with this? This is I'm thinking this may be dangerous information here. Let me know in the chat, if you think I should keep, if I should, because I've got another video that I haven't seen the whole thing yet either. And I was just coincidentally, or not coincidentally, sent it. It was sent to me right before I came on. The difference between conspiracy theories and truth has been about 6 months. Tommy 2x4. Hello, Pat. Hello, Thunder. Hello, everybody. This is some stuff that you're not going to hear on other platforms. All right, you're just not. This is a group called Guardians of the Looking Glass. Okay. I don't remember if I have played part of one of their videos before, but I've been sent links to their videos before, so I'm kind of familiar. Yeah, keep going. Okay, let's see what let's keep going. Let's see what else it says. I just don't want, I don't want. I'm just watching it for the first time here, and I'm not really sure what they're going to say. So let's find out what we do here. Something to think about. It's not fact. It's not fiction. It's not necessarily anything other than something to think about.
We not only believe the negative forces would shut down the internet if certain information got out. We know they have done it before and have the capability to do it. This is why across many channels and networks must be done all at once at the same time, so that censoring it would be near impossible or very difficult.
Okay, that was kind of crazy.
Breach was not done this way.
When I came back on, it was
via
blurry.
A series of posts which were quickly deleted, and the whistleblowers were quickly identified. The threat was terminated by the negative forces. We must act in the most deliberate, careful, intentional way to ensure what we release cannot be stopped, shut down, or censored. We have now received hundreds of emails from Guardians at our new email address. We believe those who wrote us are prepared to act when they are called upon. Soon, you will receive an email from us with instructions. It will contain links to videos that will be posted online by the Patriot groups we are working with. You must act to share those videos across as many social media accounts as possible. You must also copy those videos, save them to your hard drive, and re-upload to different channels, in case the original source videos are deleted. We also believe Telegram is a critically important source of truth, free from most censorship. It will act as an important...
Okay. First of all, I don't like when somebody says, you must do this. I just an observation. You must download, you must do this, you must, we hope you will download these and share them widely. Please download these. When things start getting demanding, I don't know, maybe I'm incredibly cynical. For if you've watched the show, you know that.
Important conduit when the information is released. What will be released will be an interview with an individual who is acting as the liaison between the white hat hackers and the Patriot groups. This individual has an extensive background in counter-surveillance and espionage, and an intricate knowledge of the negative forces' coming plans. This individual will communicate everything from...
Wow, this is beginning to sound like, I don't know. You're gonna give the person that's going to disseminate the information is an individual. Here it is, an individual that has an extensive background in counterintelligence or counter-surveillance and espionage, and an intricate knowledge of the negative forces. I don't know. Let's keep going. This is it's conspiracy theory night. And thank you all for watching. And hit the like button, hit the share, hop in the chat, comment. We're live, and YouTube, and get into the chat.
Provided from the white hat hackers. The video may also include screenshots and documentation detailing what has been discovered. Additional videos will also be released later on. We cannot disclose at this time the exact nature of what will be revealed. What we can say is it involves an event that is to take place sometime in the near future. Our best information is that this event could occur in as early as 6 months from now, and no later than the year 2025. We do not...
Okay. I'm saying this is not the same Patriots group then with this information. Because the Patriot groups, they're ready to act now. Those that we know, the known Patriot groups that we monitor, and they're ready now. And again, this weekend, head on a swivel. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, 4-day weekends. Lots going on all weekend. Enjoy, celebrate, party, have a good time, love one another. But always know your surroundings. Always keep your head on a swivel.
I cannot believe the event can be changed or stopped, as so much work has gone into its plan. What we do believe is that there is a...
Okay, our best information is that this event could occur in as early as 6 months from now and no later than the year 2025. I wonder if they're talking about the magnetic pole swap. Because this is, I've got one guy that says in March of 2023, about 8 months from now, if it speeds up, it could be 6 months from now. And the closer it gets, supposedly, the more it'll speed up, all the way to 2025 as when they would actually flip. And then they say, we do not believe the event can be changed or stopped, as much work has gone into its plan. Guess where the North Pole is moving towards rapidly? Russia, from Canada. It had been in Canada for a long time, moving east and west in Canada, on what were called excursions, and then a rapid. Again, it's conspiracy theory night, and that's just something to think about.
Another way for us to challenge what is going to happen. We have a plan of our own, one that will be carefully revealed when the time is right. It is a plan that can only work if we, the Patriot groups, and our guardians, work together. You will receive an email from us sometime in the month of July as we prepare for this disclosure. We will post a video on our channels shortly after the emails are sent so that you can be aware and ready to take action. We want to thank the Patriot groups who contacted us and thank the white hat hackers who are risking their lives. They both believe the guardians, those who emailed us, will be the key to getting this information out to the world. They believe in you. We told them they made a good decision. We also warned them that there are agents and agitators who will try to attack and discredit us. First, they will try to censor the information. If that does not work, they will try to block or ignore that information so that it remains circulating within a small group of people. If that does not work, and if the information becomes more widespread, this is when they will use paid agents and agitators to try to discredit it. The campaign to discredit and attack will intensify if the information continues to be spread to a wider audience. This is how they operate, step by step.
It's everything
so
that's happened to this side.
Response. If you consider yourself a guardian, or you want to be one, email us at the following address and await our email so you can be ready to take action.
Okay. Again, I have I've seen other videos by the Guardian, the Looking Glass, and they've all been taken down except the last one, I think, which was on like, I don't know, 10 days ago, I think. And you may ask, what is the Looking Glass? What are they guarding? And I'm glad you asked that, because asking that question makes the show flow much better. And if you just go to Project Looking Glass on Google, you won't find anything of relevance. You'll find Wikipedia talking about an inactive software, visually projecting yourself into the past with something called the Looking Glass. You'll find the Army joint partners working hard to leap forward and dominate the future warfare domains, airspace, cyber, land. That could be tied in, but not specifically. You'll find Project Looking Glass, free desktop software, Microsoft's social work analytics and marketing tool, limestone analysis, strategic finance. Operation Looking Glass is a code name of an airborne command center, command and control of the country in the event of emergency. That's not what it's about either. So, what is it about? Let's go here and listen for just a few minutes. I was told to start it at the 13-minute mark. I got it at 13:20. So, and again, I got this in email right before I came on. Well, maybe that's why I did it, because I can't. Okay. This is Project Looking Glass.
A bad day, basically. Yeah, they had it was a crappy hangover, and they came back originally. So this how that connects. Two guys are called Duncan Cameron and his brother. Apparently jumped a ship during the time when they disappeared and landed in the Montauk Project. It's just so convoluted when you look into it. It goes into all sorts of realms of weirdness, and people become reincarnate.
Okay, he's talking about the Philadelphia experiment and the Montauk experiment. These are both these are both conspiracies, and like Tommy 2x4 said, we mentioned his comment earlier. And what is a conspiracy in 6 months becomes fact. There's a really good movie called The Philadelphia Experiment, but that is supposedly based on what actually happened. And quickly, there's this guy named Tesla that probably should have electrified the world instead of going with the other dude. I can't think of his name because it's not Einstein. Oh well, somebody pop it in the chat so when I get back over there, I'm rambling here. But anyway, part of what Tesla was a genius. Part of what he came up with was the idea of using electricity to basically make to try to make things invisible during World War II to give us an advantage, the United States and its allies. And supposedly he ended up making the ship vanish, but it didn't just become invisible, it actually vanished. And when it reappeared, it was gruesome because people had been killed and were actually inside their molecules and the ship's molecules had integrated. Okay, gruesome, horrible stuff. So
into someone else as a brother, a guy called LB.
Okay, then jump ahead 40 years, I think it was, from 1940 to 1980, the Montauk Project. He said one of the brothers from the Philadelphia experiment ship jumped into the Montauk Project, which is another attempt at using Tesla's technology for time travel. Conspiracy Theory Night. Thank you for watching, everybody. Hang in there.
Claims that he was Duncan Cameron's brother reincarnated, and it goes all a bit weird, but there is a connection there. So they jumped aboard the Philadelphia experiment whilst they were disappeared. This is their story. Again, this is what they say. and they appeared on the grounds of Long Island facility and the Montauk Project.
Now, full disclosure, brother, they had a show out here. I'm sure it's huge in your country too. It's called The Mysteries Decoded, and we did a whole episode on the Montauk Project, which is very interesting, man. It's very, very interesting, and I'm not going to get into it right now. We'll talk about when we get into the Montauk here, but it's very interesting.
It's one of those things. I mean, again, have a look, open up your mind and say, okay, are these things possible? I'm not saying I believe these things. I'm just giving you the understanding of the timeline to look at these things yourself. So the Montauk Project was a project.
Exactly what we do here. Just giving you some things to think about.
Where they were trying to manifest people, basically psychic mediums, being able to use a chair called the Montauk chair, and they were trying to manifest what they could see into reality, physical reality. So
I never heard that.
Feed it to appear at different parts of the base, and they were able to apparently do so with this. And there was a connection there. But apparently a problem caused was the fact that the time jump of these two people caused a time rift, and that was causing problems within the galaxy, and they had to fix it. And that was a 40-year gap. They had to go back from the Montauk Project to destroy the stuff on the Eldridge, so it fixed the timeline.
The Eldridge was the ship that disappeared during World War II.
One of the Cameron brothers stayed on the Eldridge. The other one jumped back to the Montauk Project. And then from there, there was also a loose end that needed to be tied together in 20 years' time. And that's where I believe the invasion of Iraq comes in, and the theft of thousands.
God, that's so crazy, dude.
1940 to 1980. And then to 2000 and the invasion of Iraq.
Thousands of different, we all know they went into...
Back us up just a second here.
Years' time. And that's where I believe the invasion of Iraq comes in, and the theft of thousands.
God, that's so crazy, dude.
Thousands of different. We all know they went into Iraq and looted a lot of the museums there, didn't they? So they stole 5,000. They've sold hundreds of different ancient texts, scrolls, monuments, and all sorts from the museums in Iraq that were over 5,000 years old. And I believe that some of the stuff that they possibly, I don't believe it, but there is an element of possibility that they had time travel technology there, Stargate technology. And the reason why I believe it's possible is because one of the...
Okay, I've heard this in the past, and I put a call out. Did anybody have any links to this? And this is why I got this right at the last minute, because I've heard about Project Looking Glass, but I couldn't find anything on the internet. So you know who you are.
The guys that talks about it, Dan Brush, Burichsh, I believe, talks about the Yellow Book and how basically the Looking Glass technology, and how it was basically stopped was they basically took it apart and give different parts to different governments and said, you keep that bit, and we don't put it all together. We can't basically fuck things up. So I believe there was a possible reason they went there was when they say we were looking for weapons of mass destruction. I believe that, of course, they weren't looking for what we believe are weapons of mass destruction, but is it possible what they were hinting at was if we put it all together, there could be a weapon of mass destruction.
Very interesting.
It's worth a thought. It's a philosophy. Again, it's just a thought, and it's anyone who's listened to this, just a thought. Again, go and look into these things, because I think that's the way we need to look at things, is going, are they giving a little bit of a hint here and there? Is it revelation of the method? I'm sure your listeners don't know what that means. Were they looking for a culmination of putting these things back together? Therefore, it would have been a weapon of mass destruction. Does that make sense? It's not, but not what they were saying.
Is that the plot of the last Avengers? Is Thanos putting it back together again?
Is it?
That's the ultimate weapon. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. want to tell you about our good friends at Four Hymns. Now,
okay. So again, thank you for watching. Did none of that come on? Was none of that on the screen? Did it not switch over here? Okay, well, anyway, you got the audio of that anyway. I'm wrong to believe that we are slowly turning into a police state. I don't know, Thunder. We might quickly be returning into a militarized, occupied country, occupied by what is supposed to be our own government. Who knows, man? That's why we're here. That's why we talk about all this stuff, just to give you things to think about. So that was Project. That's what they're talking about with Project Looking Glass. That there is this technology, and basically how it works is only the people in the room, when the technology is turned on, and it's supposedly an ancient advanced civilization, an ancient alien civilization. The technology is supposed to be part of why Earth was destroyed many years ago. Okay. And they found this technology in Iraq, the Middle East. That's where, the birthplace of thinking and civilization all came from that region. So if there was something there, would the United States use war as a excuse to be able to go in and actually retrieve it and do nefarious things with it? Or is it actually spread out around to different countries or to different, and those countries have sold them to incredibly rich people, and they all have put it together and have foretold a very bad future for anybody that's not them. Supposedly the technology works like this. It is at the moment, the future is not written, but it can be written if this technology is used by the people that are there when the technology is on. Okay. So the people that have gathered when the technology is on have to be like-minded so that they can all visualize the future that they all want. All right. This is the theory behind all this. They have to be like-minded in order to envision the future that they all want. And if anyone that is in the room when the technology is used, if they deviate in the rest of their life, if they deviate in any way from everything that they're supposed to be doing, then it puts a glitch in, and it throws the timeline off, and an alternate timeline is created. Maybe that's what the guardians of the looking glass were talking about. Maybe it's not a polar shift. I kind of think it might be the magnetic pole shift, because it says they can't stop it. And it just may be preparing people like we've already been doing, that, hey, this could happen. And, what are you going to do when it does? Maybe they've got some ideas. Maybe they've got some information on safe places, because while the people I get a lot of information from are incredibly smart people, they're not the only smart people. All right. Other people know this information too. They just don't want it getting out to the public. And I thought it was odd that as I was playing that video, it kept glitching. So let's get to the next. Let's get to the next little bit of this kind of combines news and this kind of combines, I'm going to mute him here. This kind of combines news and conspiracy theory both. This is a very similar looking channel to what I have normally briefly highlighted on here in past episodes that shows where earthquakes are happening and volcanoes, things like that. This was again shared with me shortly before coming on, and I haven't even seen it yet. And it really doesn't matter because the title basically says it all. Mount Shasta in Northern California, ash and smoke blowing all day from Mount Shasta. The person I usually do highlight, his site's been taken down and he's been declared, he's been put on the watch list of the Department of Homeland Security for predicting where earthquakes may happen and where volcanoes might potentially erupt based on plate tectonics. Something to think about. You know, maybe he's getting a little too close to things. I'm not going to go into any more detail other than that. But yes, I am, because I'm going to say this. His site, I was watching, his YouTube has been taken off. I was watching him on another platform, and there was a camera up showing Mount Shasta. So I can testify to this, that I saw at least the internet version of what was happening, and there was indeed smoke, and noticeable smoke and steam rising up from the side of Mount Shasta in Northern California, a previously thought to be dormant volcano. And within 3 minutes of seeing that, the camera angle changed and it was no longer focused on that part of the mountain. It was actually focused on a tree line. Then the guy went to various other monitoring sites that he uses to verify things, and their data, the only available data was up to 2020, up to the year 2020. No new data was available. So outside of the guy I normally watch, and this post here that again was shared right before I came on, and again, thank you, kind of verifies that something is happening in Mount Shasta. And as far as giving you something to think about, why does it appear to be getting covered up? You know, just again, just giving you something to think about. Right here. Okay. Let's see, are we sharing this? No. Okay. All right. I keep forgetting with the live software, I've got to switch it every time. Sorry about that. And in night, hello to everybody. Pardon me. Hello to everybody. Thank you all for watching. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. This is one that, you know, we're doing some conspiracy theory. We're looking into some conspiracy theories. And I want to share this real quick. what is a wolf prepper and how to prepare for them? Okay. We talk a lot on here about being prepared because I care about y'all, and I don't want anything to happen to anybody. And if we are even the tiniest bit prepared for whatever may happen, it's going to put us a step ahead, and hopefully that step ahead will put us out of the level of panic, okay? Because there's going to be a sea of people panicking, and we don't want to be a part of the panic. We want to prepare a little bit. Well, we knew this was, we knew this was going to be the case if and when things happen. But they've pretty much made it public now that they are forming wolf packs, groups of wolf preppers who the only thing they're prepping is weapons and ammunition, because they plan on just doing nothing but looting and stealing and being in a big enough group that they'll basically be unstoppable. And they would be to individuals, it's going to be like the Wild Wild West. And I guess the one positive of that is that the age group and the demographic they're going to be younger white men who are just greedy, self-absorbed. And the good part about that is that they'll all want to be the leader, so it'll be hard for them to get anything done, and they'll be shooting each other as well. So a little bit of intelligence there, that if the situation ever rises, might be able to be used in an advantageous way. Again, just something to think about. And this is, word is out on what these people are planning. Werewolf preppers. A lot of stuff going on as far as, but enjoy the days while we can. Enjoy this weekend, and hopefully nothing hits the fan between the end of this broadcast and next Monday night, which will be the 4th of July. So I've got to go back and change streams here. So again, how y'all doing? Thank y'all for watching. Thunder, yes, get prepped. Every little bit helps. Absolutely. Who the Duke of the Great Lakes? That's normal Caucasians behavior. I'm sorry, my man, but you're right. I don't know why this just popped into my head, but I guess because I'm supposed to talk about it. I've dated a couple of black women, okay, and great women, and one thing that one of the things that was so much better was they constantly put lotion on me. Okay. My skin was the best it had ever been in my life when I was dating those women. And it just kind of popped into my head. White men stole just about everything from black culture, except skincare. Why did we not take the lotion part of it? If you're going to take, stupid, you're stupid. That's the most important stuff. I'm sorry, and that is in no way, shape, or form racist but I'm just being real. The white men stole a lot of culture from a lot of people. Just saying. All right, and that's in the past, and possibly in the future, and in the present. They're wanting to stop the teaching, stop the spread, stop the strength, stop the power of Black culture, and that's just a personal observation. So I got one more little thing here I want to run through. Not really a little thing, but again, am I on the right spot? I think okay, sharing this tab. This is, and this will probably run a couple of times. Oh. Actually, I'll run it through, talk over it, and then we'll run it through and hear the volume. We're at a tipping point, and last Friday's decision showed how divided our country was, but it didn't tip us, at least not yet. Tomorrow, the Supreme Court will release another set of rulings, and we talked on this before. The right to privacy, the right to contraception, and gay marriage are all three that have been hinted at as being done away with. So things could really change starting tomorrow, and this is one of the things that went on at one of the women's choice rallies. Okay, from another view, and this one doesn't have sound, but things got out of control as far as the police officers were concerned anyway. We don't have a lot of context as to what happened before this, but again, just a reminder that, depending on what the court rulings are tomorrow, and depending on what protests are in the areas that you may be in, and depending on what the political climate is in the area you may be in. Somebody shot somebody in Atlanta, Georgia over putting mayonnaise on their Subway sandwich. Shot and killed them over putting mayonnaise on their submarine sandwich. Friend of mine was just driving, trying to leave an apartment complex, and the security gate opened. They pulled out. The security gate closed. Person behind him jumped out and was screaming and shouting, and if they'd had a gun, probably would have shot. You just never know. With the state of our country, with the psyche of our people, you never know when you're going to be at the wrong place at the wrong time. And it's not going to have anything to do with, with bad decisions or being a bad person or doing bad things. It's just going to be, oh my gosh. And again, if you find yourself, I can't reiterate it enough. It just keeps getting put upon me. Tell people to be aware. Just be aware, head on a swivel, know how to get out of places. I know you're tired of hearing it, but the more you hear it, the more apt to that you're thinking about it. And if it ever does happen, you're a step ahead. And that's one of the things we want on here. Okay, I got two cuts here from what's going on in Russia and what's going on in Ukraine. And let me pop this up so that it doesn't cut off. There we go. And then I'll pop up back over into the chat and see if you got any questions or anything. Now's the time to get them in the chat, so I'll be able to see them. Let's restart. Love you all. Thank you all for watching. Do I get the volume up? I do. Okay. And you can, the closed caption will be down here.
Давайте будем говорить серьезно. Не у всех и в народе есть эта определенность. Потому что я каждый день слышу одну и ту же фразу, когда это все кончится. Ну вот когда это кончится? Когда начинаешь уточнять, а что кончится-то, собственно говоря? Ну вот это все. Значит, это уже никогда не кончится. В том смысле, что старая жизнь никогда не вернется. Это долгая борьба за то, какое место займет российская цивилизация, российский мир-регион вообще в новом человечестве.
Да, наоборот. Это долгая борьба за то, чтобы мы ответили на вопрос, что мы от Запада оставим.
На самом деле победит действительно в этой вот самой долгой. Надо понимать, что есть спецоперация на Украине, и по всей видимости какие-то еще спецоперации будут где-то еще. Потому что ясно, что неспокойно в нашей границе. Но самое главное, конечно, это противостояние нескольких систем, и самое главное, конечно, Объединенный Запад.
Okay.
Давайте будем говорить серьезно. Не у всех и в
народе. All right, that's cut number 1. Come on. There we go. And our final cut, I think. Final cut of the night. And then we'll talk about some stuff. Here we go. A lot of people like to hear these. They like to know what's going on in Russia and hear it from the Russian TV itself. And I think it's beneficial too, because like it or not, man, we're spending a ton of money over there, and 300,000 NATO troops just went on high alert earlier today. So this is what they think, what Russia is planning is kind of relevant.
Мы прекрасно понимаем, что когда вооруженные силы выполнят задачу, поставленную президентом, и выйдут на западные границы Украины, то разговор будет точно уже не про Украину. Тема-то, она, в принципе, была объявлена еще осенью. Президентом четко сформулирована. Всем европейским лидерам, ну или так называемым партнерам разосланным. Каждый об этом знал. Теперь второе, то, что касается Европы и ее выживания. То, что группировка должна быть создана на границах Белоруссии, в Калининграде она уже существует, вполне боеспособная, которая в перспективе может создать безопасный коридор для снабжения Калининграда, она, конечно, должна.
Again, we talked about it, I think, in the last episode, if not in one of the last 2 episodes, that the part of Russia, the territory of Russia that Kaliningrad was in, had been closed off, and they weren't letting in supplies from Poland or Lithuania. And they're talking about the impact that is going to have.
Быть создана, чтобы ни у кого не возникало сомнений, и пускай те, кто машет своей 5-й статьей, свернутую в трубку, запихает известно куда. Это наша территория, и нам решать, что нам возить из одного региона России в другой, по сути своей. Никакими здесь международными правом махать бесполезно, причем это право давно уже забыто и растоптано, по сути своей. Этого не существует. То, что касается самой Европы, и от тех адекватных мер, которые могут быть приняты. Да, наверное, прорабатываются меры, как обуздать Литву. Но это же не в Литве дело, правда? Ее-то особо не спрашивают. Мы сказали бежать вправо, они побежали вправо, сказали лежать, сидеть. Это проблема, наверное, их хозяев, по которой сейчас рассказывают, что у них нет рецессии, а там проблемы Европы, пускай они с Россией сами разбираются. Я как-то еще лет 13 назад в одном нашем серьезном учебном заведении, Академии Генерального штаба, говорил о том, что в ближайшие 5 лет возможна война с Украиной.
Okay, that's enough. Just another thing that we need to always be aware of is that the craziness is escalating around the world, not just here in our country. And man, so let me hop over here and see if anybody has any questions or anything. We've been on here for a little over an hour, so okay. Hold on. The Ghislaine Maxwell. Yeah, she got sentenced. I hadn't said anything about that. She got sentenced to 20 years. Oh, there it is. Should have gotten more than 20. Let me get down here. When the LGBTQ don't get their way, the Crusades happened. I don't know about that, but no, it wasn't Elon Musk. It was Thomas Edison. That's who I was trying to think of. But yeah, Elon Musk as of now. USA's the new Sodom. You're not the first to say that, Birdie boy. When does the revolution begin? Depends who you talk to. Olivia, hello. Okay. Thunder, when it goes down, what would you recommend most people do? Stay home or run for the hills? It depends where you're at. If you're in a city and it goes down, I'd recommend trying to get out of the city because the city's going to run out of food first, and everybody's eventually going to either get out of the city or start eating each other within the city. Yeah. So if I'm in a city, I'm going to try to get out of the city. So I would ahead of time have some place to go, okay. I'm in a suburb. I'm not in a city. But at the same time, I've got a couple of options. One, if I've got enough gas that I can go mobile and it would be safe to get there mobily. Another one that if I had to walk to, it would take me a while to do it, but close enough to walk to, so that I've got a plan A. Plan A is to stay where I'm at and try to stay safe. Plan B is going somewhere even further removed from the population. What are the sides going at it when it goes down? The powers, in my opinion, Bertie, that's a great question. In my opinion, the powers that be don't care who's on whose side, who's fighting who, as long as there's significant fighting. And so it will probably come down to us deciding, who's fighting who. right now they're just okay. Let's just go to the Supreme Court decision on Friday that that did away with Roe v. Wade. That decision put women against men. That decision put women against women. Okay. We see what happened in Buffalo, New York. We we hear the rhetoric that, hunting, white people hunting black people. Well, that's going to create chaos amongst certain segments of each one of those demographics. The more it continues, and it's going to continue, it's going to continue. And what's going to probably happen is that there will be 10 or 15 mass shootings. The numbers just keep climbing and climbing. And then there will be one black person that does a mass shooting, and the entire black population gets blamed for it. I hope that's not the case, but I can so easily see that happen. And as far as we're going to have to pick what sides we are on, or if we are on a side at all. And, it's going to be awful hard to try to maintain communication with too many people. It's just it's going to be like, if you thought it was inconvenient to wear a mask during the height of COVID, or if we get asked to wear a mask again, and it's a big deal to you, you're going to freak with what's coming, because we're either going to get locked down because of a pandemic, or we are going to self-impose lockdowns for our safety, because the streets are just incredibly unsafe. Sadly, that's the near future I see. That, if you've been watching the whole program, thank you very much for doing so. And you saw what we talked about with the looking glass stuff, and with the poles, magnetic poles, and with all the possibilities. Where we're at now, this is short term. It's going to be a hot summer. It's going to be a hot summer. Our nation is splitting. We are reaching a tipping point. Tomorrow could tip us over that. Tomorrow could bring us closer. Tomorrow could be decisions that are of no relevance, and we stay where we're at. The problem is so simple. The solution is so simple. No one is even talking about. We need to talk. We need to have people working actively to make sure there's communication going on between people with different pigments of skin, between people with different religious beliefs, that all have the same mindset of, hey, we want peace and the goodness for all. And instead of anybody doing that kind of stuff, other than, we do it here, I'm doing it right now, hey, that I love the people that watch this show in the Black community, have nothing but respect. If you watched it long enough, that's true. I love the people in the white community who watch this show, because at the very least, you're thinkers. We may not agree on everything. We may not agree on most things, but you're at least thinkers. So we got a tiny little audience, all right? And a lot of that could have been orchestrated, because we sure didn't grow like a lot of things have grown. And or maybe it's just I'm horrible, I mean, that's a possibility too. But you don't come here for me, you come here for the information. And we don't put out bad information. We haven't had to retract. We haven't had to come on and do mega apologies. Just something to think about. I'm happy to hear that, Birdie boy. And I'm hoping that's true. Because I've played music with musicians from the Black community. I played a lot of sports with some incredible athletes, playing both with on the same team and against. And I don't know. Sometimes when you're in a place where, let's just say in general, a red state, sometimes when you're in a red state, seems like there aren't a lot of like-minded people around you. But that could be because we don't ever talk to people we don't know, So, Birdie boy, I hope you're right, my man. Jesus is on my side and has gone before me. Jesus understands us, those of us that want peace, those that want mankind treated equally, those of us that want women treated equally. I mean, Jesus basically stopped them from stoning Mary Magdalene, and whoever among you doesn't have a sin, let them cast the first stone. Well, we need to remember that stuff, or be taught it in some situations, because there's a lot of people that claim, I'm a Christian. Well, okay, talk to me about the Bible. All I need to know is John 3:16. I got John 3:16. That's all I need to know. Actually, it's not, but that's a conversation for another episode. But if you know people like that, tell them to watch this. Hey, watch this. This guy's funny. Ha 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 ha. And they won't think it's funny when they hear it, but might make them think that, there is a lot more in the Bible. And my salvation and eternity is something I don't think about enough. I'm so focused on where I'm at right now, and the fact that I've been taught that we need to go back to a different life, and and there's a big difference between what we're taught and what we learn. What we're taught, somebody else is responsible for. What we learn, we are responsible for. Don't worry so much about what you've been taught, and start focusing on how can we learn? How can we learn to live together? How can we learn to trust one another, love one another? I started an organization along with Apollo from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Peace, brother. You happen to be watching this. And the concept was a white guy and a black guy were going to come together and end all racism. And it's a beautiful concept. The only problem is too many people in this country and around the world won't acknowledge there is such a thing as racism. So how can you solve a problem that people won't acknowledge even exists? Going on an hour and a half, coming up here in 3, 2, 1. Thank you for watching for the past 90 minutes if you've been doing so. And going a little long on this one because I got some other things going on. I'm be honest with you because I love y'all and you're my friends. I've been writing some music and putting something together. And so I may not be on. I'm going to be on either tomorrow night, Thursday night, or both. And I will remember to put a reminder, or I'll remember to put a notification up in the posts on YouTube so that you get notified, those of you that subscribe and have hit the bell and want to know when we're on. But I may take one of those 2 nights off, and I may take Friday night off because I have a feeling Saturday and Sunday and even into Monday, we might be busy. We might have a lot of stuff going on that we need to talk about. So with all that being said, there's only one race, the human race. Thank you, Sissy. God remembers slavery. Absolutely. And that's, Jesus gets us. Jesus gets us. It doesn't matter if you're watching this show right now, Jesus gets us. We're trying to be like him. We're trying to love. We're trying to help. We're trying to do good. We're trying to do right. We know we're going to sin. We know we're not perfect. And we know that the only salvation comes through the grace of Christ Jesus, those of us that are Christian. And that's a good place to end on. I'll be back. You know that. Again, subscribe, hit the notification bell, share this. Let people know that, we do this. We give you something to think about. And we'll be back either tomorrow night or Thursday night. And then probably taking Friday night off. I don't know yet. We'll see how things play out. But I love you all. Thank you all for watching. Namaste. Shalom. Salam. Assalamu alaikum. Peace. Love. Understanding. Stay cool. Stay safe. Because there are a lot of crazy people around. It's a dark world. Our job, try to be a light. I love you all. Truly mean that. Thanks for watching. And thank you for those that gave the super chat. Blessings upon everybody watching this. Blessings upon everybody watching this. In the name of the Spirit given to us by the one Son, the risen Son of the one true, most high, living God. May those blessings be upon each one of you. I love you all.